I think it's going pretty well. I mean, I like it. I'm glad I read it and stuff, but
What have you learned so far about what medieval,
yeah, it's about like
the medieval
medieval,
mind
yeah, medieval Europe.
and the Renaissance?
Yeah, I think
And
the
that's
crazy.
always a hard question because I always read books and then people ask me, "What's it about?" And it's like, "Oh, damn."
Yeah,
So,
I know.
yeah.
I feel like I think the craziest thing about it so far is that like I didn't realize how like disconnected the
Mhm.
world was back then. Like I knew there was no like real transportation or anything like that, but like just the fact that people in like villages that would be like 10 miles away from each other wouldn't be able to understand each other,
Sorry.
wouldn't really know like
Go.
yeah, no, it's no worries. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
they wouldn't really know like what was going on like 10 miles away from them, and they would kind of just like stay in their own like kind of little bubbles for their entire
What a
lives.
damn contrast compared to now.
I know. I think as like as much as we can move around and stuff now, I do feel like we kind of live similarly in the sense that I do feel like socially we're kind of like that, where most of the time I can speak from personal like experience from myself. Like I think a lot of the friends I have are the same ones I had from when I was, you know, a kid. And I feel like I haven't really branched out enough to like meet more people and you know like
You were born and raised here in LA.
I was born in Ohio.
In Ohio.
Yeah, I moved here 2 years ago. Yes, that was part of the reason why, because I felt like I wasn't really seeing anything different, and
Uh-huh.
I'd kind of lived in the Midwest my whole life, and I kind of wanted to do something that was kind of out of the ordinary for me. You know, I was like, I'm 22. If I'm not going to do it now, it's
Yeah.
never going to happen. You know what I mean? And I'm really glad that I did it. It's the best decision I ever made.
Really? What are you thinking about LA 2 years in? Uh, like have you made those new friendships that you wanted? Those new.
I have. I
Yeah.
have. Yeah, I've met some really cool people out here. People like, honestly, for the first time in my life since I moved out here, I met a friend just like out randomly, which
Yeah.
I thought was really cool because I've never had that happen to me before. Um,
How did it happen? Where'd you meet?
I was at it was over at El Cid. Have you been to El Cid?
El Cid. I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's on Sunset. It's like 5 minutes away from here.
Sunset Junction.
Yeah. It was. They did this kind of Motown funky music night on Saturdays,
Uh huh.
and I went there and I was at the bar grabbing a drink, and you know, this guy, he came over. He was like, "Yeah, it's a cool shirt, man," and we kind of just started chopping it up from there, and
Yeah.
we've been friends ever since. It's been like a year now.
Nice. Nice. And you've more friends also, like, or but sometimes you don't need that many friends. Like just with one good friend that you can talk to, two friends,
Yeah,
it's pretty good. But
I also think I got lucky where I made a lot of friends through a previous job I had out here, and that was amazing. But I think that was the key for me. I think before I really met people out here, it kind of sucked. Like as much as I loved LA and as much as I loved that there was so much to do, I think not knowing anyone or like not knowing a lot of people, I guess, really kind of makes it a little challenging.
very very challenging because then you're kind of in your head, no, often.
Yeah, yeah. I've been trying to work on that too. I do feel like sometimes I'm not really present,
Uh-huh.
and I don't know, like
How do you work on it?
doing things like this. Honestly, stuff like this kind of terrifies me, but
Really?
I feel like yeah, no, 100%. Like
How you feel right now? You're good.
I'm feeling like a year ago, if I tried to do this, like my hand probably would have been shaking.
Let's
But
test it.
yeah,
It's not shaking. It's
not
good.
shaking.
It's
It's not
good.
shaking. No, I'm happy with
progress.
this.
That's
I'm very
progress.
happy with this. Yeah, but I think I think I'm just trying to work on being a little bit more open.
Yeah.
Trying to I think often I like assume sometimes that like people won't be nice and open and stuff like that, and I think it's very unfair to assume that of people.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to like get out of that habit.
You know, one thing that helps me get out of my head, and I forget to apply it, but it helps me a lot. It's like, and it's a small switch, but it makes such a huge difference. Instead of walking around and like, kind of, we have this idea that people are looking at us, right? Like, switch it around and actually allow yourself to look at people and just guess at like, how are they feeling right now? Like, oh, maybe they're feeling this. and the next person. Maybe like you look into their eyes or their expression, and you can just like wonder what they're going through. Like I don't know, like she's probably like cold. You see how like her shoulders are up, and so just like doing that a little bit, it's kind of nice. It gets you out of your own head, and like flips the attention from self-consciousness to outward. So
Yeah.
that's something I try to do to get out of my head. How do you get out of your head at times? Well, like by doing stuff like this, you said.
Yeah, I think doing stuff like this, and I don't know, I guess trying not to think as much. I think if I ever, like if there's something that I want to do, or if there's something that I'm thinking about doing and like it's a little bit out of my comfort zone, if I think too much about it, I know I'm not going to end up being able to convince myself to do it. I kind of have to like, I'm not a very impulsive person, but I've been trying to like act a little bit more impulsively on things that I know I'd be afraid of. Otherwise, I kind of know myself to the point where like I can talk myself out of a lot of things. So like just trying not to think as much, not giving myself time to like, you know, consider all the bad that could happen.
What's something, because actually I had another question, and I think in the future I'm going to come up with more interesting questions than that one.
Yeah.
But I had one that I was going to use today maybe, which is like, what are your fears stopping you from, or what's something that your fears are stopping you from doing? Like,
okay,
yeah, like,
I would definitely say I definitely don't travel as much as I could. I think and I've been trying to do it more, and I've like gone on some trips like within the country, but like out of the country I've never like really kind of done that myself. I went out of the country when I was a kid with like my family, but I've never really kind of done my own trip like that to see something that like I wanted to see.
where would you go?
Where
would you want?
I would. So I'm a big soccer fan. Okay. So I would probably go somewhere like Madrid, somewhere like London.
Barcelona.
Yeah. I do. I would want to see pretty much like all the like big soccer stadiums in Europe, and I don't know. There's like some in like South Africa too that I would really want to see. Like honestly, a lot of like my travel has to do with like soccer and stuff.
You play?
I used to. Yeah, I played a lot when I was a kid, and I used to play in a league when I first moved out here, but I haven't for a while. Yeah, do you play?
I play basketball. I used to play basketball. I stopped playing, but I played since I was 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
What position?
I was mostly point guard, most of the time.
Facilitator.
Yeah, dishing it out. Yeah.
It seems. I see it.
Yeah?
I see it with this.
Yeah. It's been a while, but that was since growing up. Basketball was my thing. Soccer, not so great. No.
Yeah. I played basketball a little bit as a kid too. But I think as I started to like soccer more, I just started to focus on soccer. But yeah, I was also like I was a point guard, shooting guard.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back to it. You're talking about being in LA. So you said you people say you can do anything in it, like you can do everything. Like what kind? You said it was like being alone kind of sucked, but once you started making friends. But what are the impressions that you get of LA like now that you're here for 2 years? And I know the water's
No.
That's crazy. The first interview today was like same thing happened. As soon as I started, the water came. So we'll end right now.
Quick little shower.
But yeah, first impressions of like LA compared to Ohio.
So my first impression honestly wasn't very good.
Yeah.
I think it was honestly because I was in like Westchester, like that area around LAX, and I feel like that's not really a good representation of LA. Like I feel like a lot of it is like there's not really a lot to do there. It wasn't until I really ventured out to places like Silver Lake and Highland Park and you know like parts of Hollywood and stuff where I really found places that I actually liked to go. And I don't know, I will say I was very like unfair about LA. I don't think that I really had like the right like the right attitude about it going in. I think I expected it to be what I had heard LA was, like very fake, very like influencery, very like, I don't know, just like not a very fun place to be. And I don't know.
But you still came.
I still came. I still came because I just wanted to see. I wanted to see like if that was true, and like if I was proved right, then like whatever, I would move. But
It sounds like you weren't proved right. You were proved wrong.
No, not at all. I was proved very wrong, and I'm glad I gave it a chance because I really do think that I would have missed out on a lot if I just said after 3 months, like, okay, that's it. Like, we're out of
If
here.
you just thought it was Westchester area, or like, once you found this area.
Yeah, no,
it was
honestly
better.
Echo Park was one of my, like, it's one of the places in LA that like I go to most often. Like,
Same.
I really do love it here. And yeah,
There's something special, right? Like
yeah, no, it's,
I see people wearing weird stuff, and I'm like, yeah, go for it.
I feel like this park kind of has like its own like kind of like cast of characters, almost like. I feel like there are people that I see that I recognize like all the time. Yeah, I don't know. It's just very calming. It's a nice view.
Beautiful view. I should get the view
Yeah, no, you should. That's
in the future. Yeah.
But yeah, my parents came to visit not too long ago, and I took them here. And this is one of like their favorite places that they saw.
So you're not going back to Ohio yet?
I don't think I'll ever like live there again. I think I've seen enough Ohio. I would go back and visit because there's still a lot of people there that I want to see, and my brother's still there and everything. But like in terms of like living there, I think I've lived there too long to like get anything out of being there permanently.
So anything else on your mind? What's one thing you would like to mention or bring up, if there is?
I don't know. I guess. I don't know. Just going back to getting out of your comfort zone. I've kind of learned how important it is, and so whenever like I just think anybody, who would watch this or like any future interviews you have or anything, like I would love to kind of pass on to just like try and do something like every week or something that like really that you wouldn't normally do, because I have like, again, I can't even say like I do things that are uncomfortable very often, but when I do, I've really been seeing growth. And so
what's one other thing that you've, like, for me this was uncomfortable to put the sign up and stuff.
This seems terrifying. I would
Really?
Yeah. To come here with like a full ass table and a sign, I would not be able to do it. So like props to you. But I don't know, something else like,
when it comes to comfort zone, like one idea I've had about it is, if you think of it like a circle, right? We think we have to like jump out of the circle. What I thought is like, I can control how close to the edge I get, and if I can control that, and then once you're closer to the edge of the comfort zone, then easier to take from there a little step outward, right?
Yeah.
But if you're right in like the center of your comfort zone, it's really far to get out to the edge. But you can control getting to the edge of it, right?
No, I definitely agree.
And then it grows once you step out.
Yeah, I think once you kind of take that first step, you can really kind of build on that.
Yeah.
Like, I definitely think, like, for instance, before I moved to LA, I think the first step was like, okay, let's just think about like, no one's talking about moving to LA yet. This was kind of the conversation I had to myself.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, before we even think about that, let's just look up some areas that like, if we did move there, you might want to be in. Like, let's do like a little bit of Googling and let's just like see. And then from there, I kind of started like the seed kind of grew. Yeah. But I think allowing myself to kind of do that initial like, let's not shut it down completely. Let's actually entertain it. Like, I think that was very important, and it was very good to kind of like kind of get myself like in the water,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and kind of get used to the idea. And I think when I do things that scare me, that's something that really helps. Kind of taking that first like little step and kind of trying.
It happens so quickly that shutting down can happen. Like it happens so quickly that
Yeah.
it feels like it's not a big deal at times, or maybe like, but I think that quick like no, it's not possible is a huge barrier to many things.
No, I 100% agree. And like just like how easily time slips by too.
Yeah.
Like it's very easy to like think of wanting to do something, you shut it down, you say I have plenty of time to do it, and then like before you know it, like a year passes by. And that's something that I've kind of been starting to deal with a little bit, like things that I put off that I thought like I'll have plenty of time to do this. Yeah, the perfect time will come, and like you look up and like it's 2-3 years down the line, you still are saying, man, I really want to do that thing.
Yeah. I thought about this 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I was like, I would love to interview people. And I was in Buenos Aires, and the first week there, I was kind of hoping like to meet someone that would be into it. First week there, I meet someone who comes interviews me, and I tell them I'm interested in doing something like that. And then they invite me, and I didn't do it. You know, because I didn't think, I don't know, I just did. I thought for whatever reason, I thought I'd be a burden or something. I didn't do it. And now it's 2 years later, and now I'm finally doing it. But yeah, time goes by, and it really, it goes by. Like the time never comes, I think.
I bet you were like kicking yourself like for a week or 2 weeks after, you know, just thinking like, man, like why didn't I do it?
Oh, I learned the lesson. Not only like, you know how the universe gives you ask for, let's say. But not only should you wish for the thing that you want, but then you should wish that when the opportunity comes, you take it as well. Because I had the opportunity, I got what I wanted, but I didn't take it. So now I'm like, when I wish for something, take the opportunity when it comes. Yeah. And yeah, what's something that if you grew up like more out of your comfort zone, you would want to do? Like, because you said, right, like we should do one thing a week. If you could think, if you had to think of one thing for next week that you would like to do that is a little bit outside of your comfort zone, what would it be?
I want to get more comfortable just like going to like bars and stuff alone and like meeting people. I think that that's something that is, I mean, it just seems like completely like out of the box for me. And like I know deep down like nothing would be like strange about it. Like people go to bars all the time alone, like, you know, like it's not like a weird thing to do, but like it still seems like, you know, not being there, not having like someone that you came with, like I don't know, I constantly think about like what it would look like, you know, like kind of,
and without a phone. Ooh, you could challenge yourself. No phone.
No, that too,
because you could easily just go to the bar and then dive into your phone, and then you're.
Yeah. So I think that like I would love to challenge myself to do that and like you know, like talk to someone new. I think that's something.
How long do you need to, like, to make it a challenge that is something you can tangible? How long would you have to be at the bar for it to be like, all right, I did it. I was here alone.
I think at least an hour.
An hour.
I think you can set aside an hour.
Yeah.
Like for anything. So
with phone or without? Like, what are your phone rules?
I think an hour would be, maybe not an hour without the phone. I think an hour without the phone, is like wild. But like, I think to start with, like, I don't know, having to like put my phone away and just not use it for like a good like 15-20 minutes and start there.
That's good.
Like, just kind of force myself to not like take it out.
Yeah.
And then you kind of like maybe build off of that to like, you know, more time.
Yeah, exactly.
Without it. Yeah.
What bar?
Ooh, I mean, I love the shortstop here.
Oh, the shortstop.
Yeah.
I've been to 4100. There was one called Bacari.
Oh yeah, Bakari.
Bakari. Bakari.
Yeah.
So now El Cid. Thank you. It's probably not gonna. There we go. It's crooked, but it's Bakari. And which ones do you recommend? Because I'm.
Ooh, yeah. So the shortstop I love, Bakari. I've never been in Bakari, but it seems really nice.
Okay.
I really love. Trying to think. I really love Bigfoot East. Bigfoot East is really cool. Zebulon. I usually just stay on the east side, so like a lot of places like that. There's one place in Santa Monica called The Room that I really like.
Yeah.
It's like kind of like a quieter bar, but I used to go there a lot when I lived on the west side a couple of years ago.
Westchester, not Manchester.
Yeah.
Manchester's where you're gonna go.
Yeah, exactly. It's on the tour.
All right. All right. I think anything else we should add.
I think that's it. I think I think I'm all
So
good.
next week you'll be alone at a bar for an hour, hopefully, and you'll be on the other side of it.
Yeah.
You just have to pick a bar now. All right. Cool. Thank you, Heman.
Yeah, this is
Heman.
awesome, man.
Yeah. It was. See, like I